Um, Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. Um, Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And thank you for coming. My name is Agnieszka Gogolewska. I think most of you know me, but for those who haven't been to our webinars, haven't seen us yet, this is the short introduction. I'm the head of sales at PnrGo, and I have a pleasure to welcome you to another one of our series of webinars. We started last year. I think actually we started with the UK as well. That was the first one that we prepared. That's why you can see once again in the title. So we had a little bit of the break over the new year, but we are back with a vengeance and hope to keep this pace of having one webinar per month. And as I said, this year we are starting again with the UK. This webinar will be on the new travel requirements in the UK. We did speak to you last year about GAR, General Aviation Report, but the UK is changing the systems. The UK is going digital, the UK is going interactive, and this is going to offer some opportunities, but also pose some challenges to our industry, to the aviation in general, and to the travelers. And today, my esteemed colleague Małgorzata Woźniak, who's going to be our speaker, is going to tell you more about those challenges and also present you with some opportunities that you may have from us. What I'd like to emphasize before I give the floor to my colleague is that the service that we are going to talk about today, the UK UPT, is available from PnrGo as a standalone service. That meaning that you do not have to be our customer for anything else. You can just request this one connection and this one service from PnrGo. And secondly, unlike some of our services and connections, the service for the UK is available both to air operators and to trip support organizations. So if you feel like this product or this service is of interest to you, please do not hesitate to contact us. There is a contact us button at the top of this page, or you can go to our website and click the form there, or simply drop an email at sales@pnrgo.com, and I'll be sure to contact you back and schedule a meeting and a demo. So without further ado, I give the floor to my colleague Małgosia, and let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you, Agnieszka. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the webinars. I'm really glad that it's with each new webinar, there's more of you. So I'm really happy that it seems to be working. It seems to be helpful for you. And we are planning already next webinars. Today, we'll be talking about the UPT in the UK. You probably heard UPT, ETA, or other shortcut for those new programs. So today, first of all, we will go through the whole theory. So what are those programs? Who are they for? What you need to do about them, what you need to know. Then we will go through a lot of scenarios, possible scenarios you can have with your clients, with your passengers and crew. And in the end, we will go, of course, how it works with PnrGo, how we can help you. As always, we will finish up with a Q&A session. You can always put your questions in the chat, and we will go through them together in the end. So let's first start. What is the UPT? So this is Universal Permission to Travel. This has been rolling out basically for quite some time. What really it is? Basically, UK wants to have knowledge before if someone is coming to the UK. And this person has to have a permission in advance. The UPT has two major systems, the electronic travel authorization and eVisa. We'll, of course, cover those in a second. Part of the UPT is already active. It has been happening for quite a while, but there are still few steps ahead of us. UK aims to have it fully rolled out, so fully automatic, fully digital, by the end of this year. So it should happen really, really soon. Now let's go through the one I think you heard absolutely the most in recent months, the ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization. So this is basically like ESTA in the USA. So if you're a non-visa and visa-exempt national coming to the UK, first you have to apply for ETA. It can be done via their web portal. You have to pay, I think, £16. It was raised recently, and it's valid for 2 years. ETA is also being rolled out in phases. Most of their phases are already behind us, so they're already live. And the last stage is just in front of us because the beginning of April. Right now, nationals that need ETA is pretty much everyone except EU, EAA, and Swiss nationals. So pretty much the whole world without Europe, but Europe is coming soon as well. During the whole rollout, there is a leniency period. So it means that if someone is flying right now to UK, for example, let's say from US, the US national, and they still don't have the ETA, they will be allowed to board the plane and to go into the UK during this time, but only till the full rollout is completed, so till April. So now who really needs ETA? So of course, all the non-visa nationals, and that includes infants and children. That also includes people that are only transiting through the UK. So on the other hand, who doesn't need ETA? So of course, visa nationals, if you have visa, you do not need ETA. If you have other papers like resident permits, resident card, that doesn't include you as well. Of course, British, Irish nationals don't need ETA as well. Some other individual like diplomats as well. So here is a bit of an exemption for when you're traveling in the common travel area. So this is UK, Ireland, and Crown Dependency. If you are non-visa resident of Ireland, you do not need ETA when traveling from Ireland to UK. But, and this is important to remember, if you are traveling from somewhere else, so for example from Europe, then you need ETA. So this is like a small exemption worth remembering. Okay, so I think we know a lot about ETA now. Let's go to the second system, so eVisa. This is, of course, electronic visa. The name can be a bit misguiding because it's not only visa, but also other permits like resident permits and resident card will be done via eVisa. So, of course, this is an electronic record of visa. So UK will no longer give out physical evidence of those things. So there will be no longer visa vignettes put into the passport. You probably received a lot of emails in the December regarding the resident permits and resident cards because most of them expired in the December. Now they will be purely digital solution. The visa vignettes, they're already being changed through to the digital format as well, but this is happening still right now. It should be finished by the end of this year, as I mentioned. Worth to remember and to remind your passengers, if you have still the visa vignette, so the physical visa, you still need to carry it with you when traveling to UK. Okay, just here a quick summary. So once again, on the one slide, who needs what? So if you're British or Irish citizens, you don't need any permission. The passport on an ID card is all you need. If you're a visa national, offer other long-term permits, you need those to travel to the UK. If they're in digital or physical version. Now, from next year, everyone should have the digital version. Of course, visa exempt now will need ETA. I hope this helps and clarifies who needs what starting from here. Now we haven't mentioned yet the crew. Crew, of course, has to be submitted to the UK as well. But if this is an operational crew operating to the UK, as was previously, they do not need any permission. So they're also visa exempt. In case of deadheading or positioning crew, they will still need a permission. So visa or ETA is required in their case. Okay, so that was like what ETA really is, what UPT is, who is under it, who's not. Now let's get back to the whole interactive stuff. What does it really mean? The whole UPT system is interactive. It means that the moment the data of the passengers and crew are submitted to the UK, we will receive in the response the statuses for each of the passenger and each of the crew. So that way, the UK can tell us, okay, we see the permission for this person and we didn't find it. So basically, this will allow UK to communicate with the carriers basically all the time in this interactive way. At the moment, UK will provide you with one of two answers, two statuses for the passenger. The first one is OA, so 0A really, with the comment valid permission to travel. So what does it mean? It means that you have sent the passport, the data of the passenger, they took it, confirmed that with their database, and for this passport, for this person, they did find attached valid permission. So it can be that they found ETA or that they found eVisa. The second possibility is 0Z, and here the response is a bit misleading because you will see authority to carry granted. It means that it's still carrier obligation to check if this passenger has valid, I call it migration document. So if has a valid visa, residence permit, or something else, because UK did not find any visa or any ETA in their system. If you have been using this system so far, especially before January, you saw that 90% of people, of the passengers, received this answer as ETA was being rolled out, and not many people did have ETA. So basically, I know that it seems, okay, another obligation for carriers. We have to do, again, a lot of things, a lot of new responsibility. But interactive systems are meant to help and take a bit of the burden from the carriers. As I mentioned, as the UK will provide you with the status of the passenger. There are still, of course, obligations resting on the carriers. And the most important one to remember is that it's always carrier responsibility to make a face-to-face and document check, to actually see if this person that will be flying to the UK is the one in the passport and the passport belongs to them. The visa, national still requiring visa. So in case of them, you need to confirm it that they're all allowed to arrive to the UK. Okay, so now we know the answers, and now we'll dive a bit deeper into what situation, what answer you will have, and what to do with them. First, we'll start with the scenarios for non-visa nationals. So this one is a bit easier and quicker and less cases, let's say we have. So if you have a British or Irish citizens, and let's add a crew, operating crew here as well, for them, you will always receive the answer 0Z, as they do not require any permission. The only thing they need to arrive is the passport. So you just need to check the passport that it's valid. If you have a passenger, non-visa passenger with a valid ETA, you will receive 0A. So, okay, UK is confirming, yes, I found valid ETA for this specific passenger, and you can bring them to UK, of course, again, after checking the passport. During the leniency period, if you receive 0Z for ETA national, for non-visa national, that's still okay. They will not be refused to cross the border in the UK. They are asking you to inform the passengers about ETA and encourage them to get them, but you can still bring them to UK. So that was quick and easy. Now let's go to a different scenario, the visa nationals. So of course, if you have a passenger with digital visa, with digital eVisa, in this case, you will receive 0A. So again, UK is confirming, yes, we found the document, the visa for this passenger, and they're okay to go. No need to check in this case. There's no need for you to check the visa in any other physical way. There is confirmation from the UK that they did found a digital visa, so no need to check for physical one. So this person is okay to go. Now you are receiving for visa national a 0Z response. So it means that we didn't found any visa, any residence card for this person. It doesn't mean that you cannot bring them. It means that this is it's your responsibility to confirm that they do have other documents. So they have a physical permission to travel. So for example, they have a visa vignette in their passport. So we need to confirm, look at the visa, check that it's valid. And if you confirm it, you can still bring them to the UK. If a passenger receives 0Z and is unable to show you a physical permission, there is another way for them to share it with the carrier. UK built, it's called share code on the UK website. This allows a passenger to have their record online and using the share code, so they will have to give the carrier a code, and then the carrier can check this code on the UK website. I didn't put the whole procedure for this share code here in the presentation, as this is quite long. But if you would like to receive it, please let us know, and we can send it to you as well. So after checking via share code with the passenger that they're okay, they do have the migration status that are allowing them to come to the UK, you can bring them in. Now, the last one, the worst one, of course. So after checking, the visa nationals received 0Z response, and you haven't been able to check the physical evidence of permission. You haven't been able to check it digitally via share code. Then the last step you have to actually confirm it is to call a carrier support hub. So that way, I didn't put the number here, but if one of my colleagues can put it in the chat, there we go. So this is the number you can call to ask for advice. In case you cannot in any other way confirm with the passenger that they have a permission, you can call them and ask for advice. If they do not confirm that this person can be brought to the UK, you should not bring them. Okay, I know I'm talking a lot, and those 3 slides were a lot of text. So now basically the same, just put in the more accessible chart, at least I hope so. That's a bit easier for you to understand all of that via this chart. So what you have to do if you receive from the UPT response 0Z. If this is a non-visa national, during the at a leniency period, you can still bring them to the UK. It's okay. Now we have visa nationals. So first, what you do is check for physical permission to travel to the UK. They have it, you check the passport and they have visa in it or other resident card and it's valid, good to go. You can bring them in. Then, in case you cannot find it, you need to check, ask them if they're traveling on a passport linked to their permission. If yes, ask them for a proof via digital permission via share code. So this is the way to check in case they do not have physical permission. If you see that yes, they can prove via the share code that yes, we have it, that's great, you can bring them to UK. If not, call the Carrier Hub for support. I hope this chart make it a bit more understandable, a bit easier to understand what needs to be done in which case. Okay, so now the more pleasant part of the presentation. So how PnrGo can make it easier, a bit more easier for the eyes and easier to manage the whole UPT scheme. So if you have been on our webinars previously, you probably know this picture quite well. So now a few words of introduction, how the data flow between all of the parties in this case works. So of course, the whole system is fully automated. PnrGo will pull the data from your flight management system. We'll take all the necessary data, so flight data, packs, crew, and also movement. Then we will put them in the right format, let's say, and the agreed time, we will send them to the UK. In a few seconds, we should receive response from the UK with the statuses for all crew and packs on board. Then we will provide those statuses to you via email or directly to your management system, depending on the system here. Of course, in case of any updates, changes to the flight, those changes will be propagated automatically, the new message will be sent again, and the whole circle will happen exactly the same. Now, just a quick reminder. Again, the new UPT system is right now only a part of what you need to submit to the UK. This is an interactive, and this system will give you the responses, the statuses for all the passengers. But unfortunately, you are still obligated to submit the General Aviation Report, and then only you are fully compliant. How it works with PnrGo. We will send both messages at the same time, so they're just one after the other. The time is the one agreed with the carrier. The default one is 12 hours before departure, just to let you know. After each submission, and by that I mean both of those messages, carrier will receive, first of all, confirmation for the GAR, so the submission identifier, and also the GAR summary in the PDF format, so you can see exactly what data were sent to the UK. Then in the second email, you will receive statuses for all passengers. Now, as we support more than one interactive system, we also try to uniform the answers from all of them, so it's easier for the carrier, so they don't have to look for each country, so the responses for each country look pretty much the same. So the first two responses that we can send you are okay to board 0A and 0Z. So just to remind you, to these responses, you will also have a message. In case of 0A, it will valid permission to travel, valid permission to travel found. I know it's repeated, but this is how the message from the UK is sent. So this is how we transmit it to you. On the other hand, if you receive 0Z response, you will get a message authority to carry granted, but with the comment conduct manual check to determine permission. So if you see a message like that, you know that this is now your responsibility to check if they have visa or other permission to arrive to the UK. Now, the third status, the error. So this is not really a status of the passenger. This is more an information from UK stating that there was something wrong with a message. Each error, because you can have many of them, will have its own description stating what is wrong. Based on the last few months when the system was running, I chose two most common errors we saw. So the first one is invalid length. So it means that the first name of the surname of the passenger is too long. You need to check if you correctly input it in from the passport. We talked previously on the first webinar how to do it, to always check the machine readable part of the passport. So in case you see error like that, you know to check it if data are correctly input. The second one we saw is insufficient data. So this means that some mandatory data are missing in the message. In the description, you will see exactly what is missing from the message. So I think it will be easy to add it, to fix it without any problem. Now, I have put here on the screen the red status, the inhibited do not board. This status should never be received. UK states that if there is a passenger they do not want you to board, they will not send this answer, they will call you. So you'll probably receive the answer 0Z for this passenger, and then UK will call you and send you an email with information that this passenger should not be boarded. So of course, in this case, you cannot board this passenger, but again, this status should not be received from the UK directly via UPT system. Just to add, UK is planning to add more codes, more messages to the system, but they're not operational yet. So for example, they will also include health codes in case of another pandemic. If anything changes, if a new code is introduced, we will of course let you know. We will send emails with explanation what to do, what does it mean. So don't worry, if anything changes, we will let you know. Okay, so this is something that our clients should be quite familiar with. The statuses of the passengers will be provided to you using emails as well. Let's start from the bottom, as the green light is the easiest to explain. So if all the passengers on this flight receive 0A and all the crew members receive 0Z, so basically everyone is good to go based only on their passport, you will receive the email as an information. So with a green header stating, yeah, you're good to go, just check the passports. In case at least one passenger got the 0Z response, you will receive an email as a warning. So with the yellow header stating, okay, wait up a bit. It means that, of course, you need to check. This indicates that you need to check at least one passenger for more than just passport. So it have to confirm that they have visa or eVisa or other document. And of course, the last one, the red one stating, of course, stop. There was an error in the message, or there was other response that it's not okay. So of course, if any of the passengers on the crew or a crew receive other messages or so, an error or no board, it means that, okay, you have to do something, you need to check what happens, where there's an error, fix it. Until then, you cannot really depart. So I hope this explains how you can easily see right away what you need to do, what is your responsibility in case of those emails. Okay, just a reminder. I think we talked about this 2-hour windows plenty in the previous webinar, so this is more of a reminder. The 2-hour windows still apply, so you cannot leave 2 hours, at least 2 hours after last submission. In PnrGo, the GAR and UPT submission will happen at the same time, so based on that, you need to wait 2 hours. Even, for example, if you add a passenger hour before departure, and that's the only thing that's changed, and you receive from them the 0A, okay to board, the valid permission for travel was found, it does not mean that you can depart on time. No, UK says, no, we need those 2 hours to double check, to make sure that no one is coming who we don't want to come. Okay, I think we are at the end of presentation. As always, I try to make a quick checklist for you, sort of a summary of the whole presentation for you to remember what to pay attention to. So first of all, input the data correctly from the passport. The UK is still paying a lot of attention to it. I think after using the new GAR for more than half a year right now, I think you know how to do it, but just quick reminder, pay attention to it. Second, remember there's still your responsibility to make the document phase check. Then, as I say, remember about 2-hour window. And it's still your responsibility to check the migration document if you receive the 0Z response. And this is a request from our support team. If you have a new aircraft in your fleet, please let us know. You can do it via email, just stating I have new aircraft with this registration and so on. Or you can do it yourself, just logging into to our system. This is really important as both the GAR and UPT messages, one of the mandatory fields are aircraft registration and aircraft description. So without aircraft data, we cannot really send the message. So please remember about it, because then there's a problem, the message cannot be sent, and we need to act quickly to get those data. Okay, I think perfect timing as we are at the end of our presentation. Now we'll go through the Q&A.